ยามเมื่อโลกกาแสงแห่งอาทิตย์ย่อมมืดมิดมองอะไรก็ไม่เห็นยามเมื่อจิตกาดพัญญาพาลำเค็ญมองไม่เห็นดีหรือชั่วที่ทั่วธรรมก็ขอนอบน้อมแด่พระรัตนตรัยแล้วก็ขอถวายความเคารพพระธีรานุธีระแล้วก็ธรรมสวัสดีญาติโยมท่านสาธุชนทุกท่านนะฮะวันนี้รายการธรรมะปาเพลินก็กลับมาพบกับท่านผู้ชมอีกครั้งหนึ่งในช่วงธรรมะปาภาษาอังกฤษว่าธรรมะ for life โดยทุกๆวันเสาร์ก็จะได้มีธรรมะปาภาษาอังกฤษนะฮะโดยคุณโยมชอชคุณโยมแจ็คกี้เนี่ยเป็นผู้ที่ได้เสียสละเวลามาอธิบายธรรมะมาสนทนาธรรมฉะนั้นญาติโยมทุกท่านที่ฟังอยู่มีคำถามอะไรก็ฝากถามไปได้แล้วก็อนุโมทนาทุกท่านที่ได้ติดตามรับชมรับฟังรายการธรรมะพาเพลินทุกวันฉะนั้นต่อจากนี้ไปก็จะได้เชิญคุณโยมชอดได้ให้ธรรมะนะก็เชิญเจริญพรโยมชอดนั้นแล้วก็เชิญโยมได้ให้ธรรมะสนทนาธรรมได้เลยก็ขอธรรมะสวัสดีโยมชอด
ครับธรรมะสวัสดีครับOkay, good morning everybody here in Washington, or we call it Washington, and also in Vancouver, Canada, especially those who are living in Thailand. I have to say good evening, Thailand, South, North, or in Bangkok. Yeah, it's the evening time before going to the bed. Let's Zoom or let's have some good Dhamma so that it can or insert the new input for life as the name of the programs that the Dhamma for life. Today we like to talk about the different class or different levels of the noble being or the noble person in Buddhism. In Buddhism, the teaching of the different person are different from other religions, that they don't classify the peoples. But in Buddhism, according to the action or the karma that makes differences of the people, and we own our action, and because of the different action of a different peoples, so that makes everything in life different, including the people themselves, that can be classified into at least 4 different people when they are step into the path of the Dhamma. But today I would like to talk about the first noble people or the noble person that stay along the line of the 4 levels of noble people in Buddhism. We call this person as a โสดาปันนะต่อในภาษาไทยเราเรียกว่าโสดาบันบุคคลนะครับใน accent of English we call it โสดาปันนะ actually it's in Sanskrit, or in English we call it the stream enterer or stream-entrant. let's talk about the term the Sodapanna is referred to one who has reached out the first of the four levels of awakening, which really recognized in the early Buddhism and especially in the Theravada tradition school. Is the Sodapanna is very well recognized person. The Sodapanna has become the stream enterer in the sense of being the one who has irreversibly entered the stream that is that actually will ultimately leading himself or herself to the full liberation or nibbana or nirvana. The stream in this case it means the stream enterer in this case means the Sodapanna has entered is the noble eightfold path, or in short it's Trisikha or threefold training, which is consists of the Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. So when they fold up together, we call it Noble Eightfold Path. So it has become a succinct description of the Buddhist conception of what is required to progress to the nirvana or full liberation, namely the right view or the right directed view, the right intention, the right speech, the right action, the right livelihood, the right effort, right mindfulness, and the right concentration. So these are the greatest sense of what we call it the path or the Noble Eightfold Path. When you are coming in and you walking on this path very regularly and very strictly, you are considered as an irreversible stream enterer. This Noble Eightfold Path constitutes itself to become a stream in the sense that it leads towards the nirvana, just as the Buddha compared the stream of the Noble Eightfold Path as a Ganges river that leads towards the sea. The time required for this stream is lead to the highest is almost 7 lives, and none of which will take place in the lower sphere of rebirth, for example, hell or the animal being. So this is what we call the stream enterer in the Buddhism. So then we can talk about the detail of what is called the Sodapanna. Sometimes in some tradition they call it stream winner or stream-entrant or whatever the person call, but it is considered as the man who walking on the path, the Noble Eightfold Path. And also it's considered as the person who has seen the Dharma, and consequently has dropped himself the first three fetters, eliminate the first three fetters, or we call it สังโยชนะ or สังโยชน์ in ในภาษาไทยเรานะครับ that the first three fetters that bind a being to rebirth, and what are the first three fetters that have to be abandoned or eliminated, namely self-will or sakaya ditti in Pali, and second one, when you cling to the right and the ritual, we call it silaphata pramat, and the last one is skeptical indecision, or we call the vichikicha, being a doubt in whatever you're doing, whatever you're thinking, whatever you are speaking, especially when you have really doubt full in Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. That is very serious doubt. Without talking to the attainment, we cannot understand what the Sodapanna is. So let me go a little bit more about the attainment. The first moment of the attainment is termed the path of the stream entry, which cut to the first three fetters. The person who experiences is called the stream winter or the stream enterer, or in Sanskrit as a Sodapanna. The Sodapanna is said to attain an intuitive grasp of the Dhamma, this wisdom being called the right will or samadhi, and become unshakable confidence in the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. The Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha sometimes were taken to be as the triple refuge or triple gems, at other times listed as being the object of the recollection when you practice the four foundation. We also have a different kinds of the foundation that to be considered, to be contemplated, and we call it the mindfulness of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, or we call it the Putthanusati, Dhammanusati, and the Sanghanusati, or we wrap up together. It's called the recollection of the Ratana, or the triple gems, the mindfulness of the triple gem or triple refuge as Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And that is also considered as one kind of practicing the mindfulness, which you switch from the breath or whatever the object is to the object of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha in mindfulness concentration, mindfulness meditation. So, respectively, the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha is considered to be one for the four limbs of the stream entering. The Sodapanna is sometimes said to have opened the eyes of the Dhamma, because they have realized that whatever arise will cease, or that fashion, what we call it, impermanence, or anicca laksana, or anicca. So the conviction in the true Dhamma will be unshakable. they have had the first glimpse of unconditioned elements. We call it asankhata, means unconditioning, in which they see the goal in the moment of friction of the path, or we call it Makkah, where the stream-entrant has seen the Nirvana or the Nirvana that has verified the confidence in it. So when you, it's one thing that I would like to focus or emphasize that the noble person or the noble being, when we talk noble or the nobility, we refer to the mental quality of the person. We're not dealing with the physical appearance. The noble person can appear as an ordinary person, but the mental qualities are different from the ordinary person. So you may not notice the difference between who is the noble person, who is not. But he himself, or if you are living along with him, spending a period of time with him, you have a conversation with him, you will realize this person is a noble person. For example, a Sodapanna. It's a state of mind that has become a greatest quality and to be qualified as a stream-entrant, that you have abundance of the self-will and the doubt and the attachment of the rite and ritual through the conversation, through the association. And you have to be smart enough, or you have a wisdom in the amount, in the same amount that he has. So if that's what come to what we call it the eyes, the Dhamma eyes, the eyes of opening up the eyes of the Dhammas. So the Sodapanna may state this about himself. When the person become or walk on the stream of the Noble Eightfold Path, he himself being a person who be guarantee that he will not miss or fall into a hell, or we call the hell door is ended. The animal worms are ended. The steadfast never again destined for the state of woe, head for self-awakening. However, the remaining three paths, namely one's returner, or we call it Sakayatiti, Sakitakami, and non-returner, Anakami, and the sainthood, or what we call it Arahanta, become destined for the stream-entrant. The enlightenment as a disciple become inevitable within the 7 life transmigrating amongst God and humans. So if they are diligent in the practice of the teacher, they may fully awaken within their present life. That's what I mean. So they have really little future for suffering to undergo. Now we can talk about the three feathers that the Sodapanna or the stream enterer has to eliminate or abandon. In the Pali Canon, the qualities of the Sodapanna are described as those monks who have abandoned the three feathers are on the stream winner, steadfast, never again, destined for the state of woe, hate, or self-awakening. This is how the Dhamma will proclaim by me is clear, open, evident, stripped of rage. So this is what I brought from the Alakadupanya Sutta. The three feathers which the Sopanna eradicates are, the first one is called the self-will, the will of the matters, the substance or the material that is compiled, or we call it sankhata, could be eternal in the five aggregates, the forms, or we call it rupa, the feeling of vedana, perception, we call sanja, the intention, and cognizance, or the vinya. And that process, or own as I, me, or my, a Sodapanna doesn't actually have a will about self or Sakaya Titi, as that doctrine is proclaimed to be subtle forms of clinging. So the stream enterer is totally free from a wrong view of self or a wrong self view. So he eradicated. The second feather is clinging to the rite and rituals, or what we call in Sanskrit and Pali in Sanskrit as a sila pata prama. The eradication of the will that one become a pure simply through performing rituals. For example, the animal sacrifice, the ablutions, and or adhering to the rigid moralism. So over restriction, or relying on the good for non-causal delivery, Rite and ritual have functioned more to be obscure than to support the right view of the Sodapanna. Now open the Dhamma eyes. The Sodapanna realized that the deliverance can be won only through the practice. So the Sirapata Parama is really underlies the practice of the Noble Eightfold Path. So when you practice of the Noble Eightfold Path, it has a greater sense of the elimination of the notion that can be a shortcut to make yourself perfect or virtues. So we have to eliminate that kind of sense of attachment to the ritual, rite and ritual. The third feather that you have to remove or eliminate is called skeptical doubt. When you have a doubt of the Buddha, his teaching, means Dhamma, and his community, because Sangha, is eradicated because has to be eradicated because the Sotapanna personally experienced the true natures of reality through insight. So I would like to emphasize or underline that the insight quality is the must. We're talking about the mentality, we're talking about the mind of the person who named as the Sotapanna. So the insight is the quality, is the greatest quality of the stream-enterer or the Sotapanna. And this insight will confirm the accuracy of the Buddha's teaching or the Dhamma. Seeing remove the doubt because the sight is a form of the vision, or what we call it tassana. The tassana, the yana, or ในภาษาไทยเราเรียกกันว่าได้ญาณนะครับ and this combined together become what is called the tassana yan because of panya or the wisdom or insight or yana is a greatest quality of the noble person beginning from the Sotapanna. Because you now you become a person who have a right view, especially self view. You remove the sakaya titi, the wrong view of self, away from your life. So you step on the path because of the quality of your mind, new quality of your mind, which is called a right view or insight. And because of this, it allows the one who step on, who walk on the path, to know everything, to have a great knowledge, to know the truth, who has the accessibility to the truth. That is what called yana or yan ในภาษาไทยเรา What are the defilements that has to be abandoned in general of the quality of the Sotapanna? According to the commentary, there are 6 types of defilement would be eventually abandoned by the Sotapanna, and that is the first one is envy. Second one, the jealousy, I think the jealousy and hypocrisy, fraud, and denigration, and then the domineering. Yeah. So this is the 6 general qualities, bad qualities of the mind that the Sotapanna spend his 7 life to eliminate them. The Sotapanna will be saved from falling into the state of the misery. For example, they will not be born as an animal, will not be born as a ghost, or will not be born in a hell being. Their lust, hatred, and delusion will not be strong anymore. will not be strong enough to cause the rebirth in the lower realms or the lower sphere of rebirth. So these kinds of person will be saved, will be protected by practice themselves on the path or on the stream of Noble Eightfold Path. So you are safe, you have shield, you have protected. Or in normal speaking, we say that the door of the hell or Abaya Poom have shut down because you have lowered down the lust, the hatred, and the delusion, and you walk on the path, and that path is the direct path to the liberation. So you will be a person who walk on the path that never turn around to walk back. You have no more chance to walk back to the ordinary person. The door after you step in has shut down. So you are completely on the stream, and that's why you are named as the stream enterer. You will never allow to go backwards. You always move on to the full liberation. So this is how wonderful path or the stream of the Noble Eightfold Path is. That once the person step into, you get locked up. You will never miss the chance to enter the full liberation. Of course, we have to practice. We have to start. We have to begin with the sila and follow by the samadhi or concentration, and then we can develop the wisdom. And when you have the wisdom or insight, the door is shut. So that's why the Sodabana will be saved from falling into the state of the misery. That's what they mentioned. Because you have lowered down the lust, hatred, delusion. In general, according to the Tripitaka, the Sodapanna we have to be reborn at the most only 7 more times as a human being or heavenly world before attaining the Nibbana or full liberation. Why? Because you just have lowered down, you just have become a stream enterer. The person who living this stream is called Arahanta. When you are on the stream, there are a person who walk onto the stream or swimming into the stream and the stream enterer, Sodapanna, Sakitakami, or we call a once returner. You have to return one more time before you getting into the destination of the Nirvana or the Nibbana. And then a Nakami, is called non-returner. You have no more returning. And then you're out of the stream when you are at Arahanta. And that is a high, that is a super being. Actually, it's not necessary for the Sotapanna to be reborn 7 more times before attaining a nirvana, as the ardent practitioners may progress to the higher stage in the same life, in which he or she reach the Sotapanna level by making the aspiration and persistent effort to reach the final goal of the Nibbana. See, so if we're looking according to the Buddha, that there are 3 different types of the Sodapans, and can be classified according to their possible rebirth. The class 1 is if a man, after disappearance of the 3 fetters, as I mentioned, the Sakayatiti or self-will, Silapatrapamat, or attachment of a ritual rite, and Vichikicha, or the doubt. If a man, after a disappearance of these 3 fetters, he will has entered the stream, he is no more subject to rebirth in the lower world or the lower sphere. It's really said to be really confirmed, established, to destined to the full enlightenment. But then after having passed amongst a human being only 7 times more to round of the rebirth, he put an end to suffering. Such a man, so such a man is called one with the 7 births at the utmost. And this man is called Sattakatu Parama. Sattakatu Parama. So this is the first man who are born 7 times, reborn 7 times. The second class of the Sotapanna is if the man, after the disappearance of the 3 fetters, is destined to a full enlightenment. He's after having passed among the noble families 2 or 3 times. Because a Sodaban can be it is a family man. So he has to pass among the noble families. He will be every time between 2 to 3 times. He will be appear as the noble person, the noble families for 2 or 3 times to the round of the rebirth. He will put an end to the suffering. So such man is called one passing from a noble family to another. And in Bali, we call it Golangkola. Once again, Golangkola. So the Sodaban who has a chance to between 2 to 3 rebirth, 2 to 3 rounds of the rebirth. That is Golangkola. And then the third class of the Sodaban, if the man, after the disappearance of the 3 fetters, is destined to the full enlightenment, and he is after having the only one more time, once more return to the human existence, to the world of the human being, only one time, he will put an end to the suffering. And such man is called once germinating only once more. We call it in Pali Eka Pisi. So this is the class, three classes of Sodapanna or the stream enterer. According to the Pali Canon, there are mentioned about six sections of the Sodapanna that cannot committed. Let's check what are the six action that has not to be committed. The first one is the murdering one's own mother. So he will not be able to kill his mother. That is number one. Number two is he will not be able to kill his father. Number three, he will not be able to kill the arahant, the Superman person. And he will not be able to have he will not be able to injure hurting or harming the Buddha to the point of drawing blood. And he will be always creating the schism in the monastic community. The separation of the community. He will not be able. He will not have any intention. The seed of the intention it make a separation of the Sangha or the monastic community. And he will always, he will not be able to taking another teacher beside the Buddha. So these are the six actions that the Sodapanna or the stream enterer not be committed. There is some sutta that I have brought today to mention that talks about the Sodapanna. The Buddha spoke about the Sodapanna on many occasions, many places, even through it is the first of the Arya Sangha members. He or she is welcomed by all the Sangha member, for he or she practice for the benefit and welfare of many. I think in literatures there are the Arya Sangha, which is explained as the four members. When taken as a pair, as the eight, when we're taking a pair, we have grouped in four different pairs. But when you were detail it become the 8 person individual types. This refers to the 4 supramundane fruit attainment, and corresponding 4 supramundane path. Those who are practicing attain those fruit, or what we call it makkha. So the Buddha said, the Sangha of the Blessed One disciple who has practiced well, who has practiced the straightforwardly, who has practiced methodically, who has practiced masterfully. In other words, the 4 types of the noble disciple when taking as a pair, and the 8th person when taking as an individual. And they are all Sangha. They are all my Sangha. That's what the Buddha said. They are considered to be as a Sangha of the Blessed One, disciple worthy of gift. You are qualified for the gift. You are qualified for the hospitality. You are qualified for the offering. You are qualified to be respected. The incomparable field of the merit for the world. This is the Buddha said in one sutta. In Anguttara Nikaya. This is called a recollection of the Sangha. Actually, it can be also interpreted as they are the Blessed One disciples. That's what when we chanting in the morning, in the evening, who has practiced well, who has practiced directly, who has practiced insightfully, those who practice with integrity. Integrity means the confidence, the sattva, the full of confidence. This is called integrity. To be shared, to be learned with one another. So they give occasion for incomparable goodness to arise in the world. Because of gift to them, be a great fruit and the benefit to a giver. This is which actually chanting in the morning. We call it morning chanting and evening chanting. When we are living in monastic life. I think in the Samutaya Nikaya, it's called Sodapati Samutta. And concern the Sodapan, which is their attainment. Yeah. In the discourse number, the Sodapana are praised and the Sangha as a Sangha member to lay followers, the people on deathbed, Bhikkhunis, the female monk or Bhikkhu, and the Devas, and they end up becoming a well-being and the benefit to many. This is what we deliver the Dhamma to the people when they are sick. So I would like to take maybe a couple of minutes to conclude what actually the Sodapanna is. As I mentioned earlier, that there are 4 classes of the noble person. Number 1 is stream-entrant. Number 2 is once returner. Number 3 is non-returner. And the last one is the greatest one, which is called Arahant. All these 4 persons always appear as an ordinary person in the living society, in any society especially, but he will try to make themselves safe from all possible defilements, or the object of defilements. That means he's living his life on an education, or what we call it Trisikha, except when the last person has out of the stream of the Noble Eightfold Path. So what I mean to say is the the nobility is the quality of the mind. We underline the quality of the mind or the noble mental qualities. So one may not realize who is the Sodapan, who is the stream-enterer, who is the once returner, or even who is the Arahanta, unless you spend time with them, living together with them, and have a conversation while living with them, you will realize, because you are inspired. So the nobility, or what the nobility is, the quality of the mind of the person who practiced on the path, or we always call that we walk on the path, and that path is the noble eightfold path, or the path of the Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. And it seemed to be the stream of the Sodapan has locked himself on the path. And that path, that way, is the straight way. Or when I talk to my student, I call this way as the express way. Like we have I-5 in Seattle, or whatever, the express way, express lane, even in Thailand. And you walking on, when you're driving your car in the direct way that have a barrier or the divider that dividing the lanes, there is no way that you can make a U-turn. So this is what the sense of the Sodapan or the stream-enterer explain. Because you have the insight, you have a great knowledge, you have a great right view of yourself, and you remove what is called the Sakaya Chitti, the wrong self-view, and you have no doubt in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and also you have no doubt about yourself, about your action. You know what to do, you know what not. You know what to speak, you know what not to speak. Yeah, and you keep your mind and your brain in the right track, so you have no doubt. And of course, you become a person who really keeping up your morality. Your behavior is showing that you are really keeping you become a moral person spontaneously. See, you can realize that how safe this track is. And when you are in the safe track, in the safe path, on the safe highway or expressway, it allows you to speed up. You can drive as fast as you want. And you can drive always. There will be no accident in this path. you drive safely, and you are guaranteed to reach the destination of the Nibbana or the Nirvana. So this is what the stream-enterer or the Sodapanna in Buddhism, especially in the Theravada tradition, the Theravada school, the early school of the Buddhism, describe about the first great person in the Buddhist society, which are not appearing in any kind of teaching or in any religion. In other religion, they're mentioning about good and bad person, but due to the different karma of the different peoples, the Buddhism has offered the teaching of the different class of the people, as I mentioned today. And that is the end of my talking, Dhamma talk today. I will pass this back to Prajan to watch.
เยี่ยมชดก็ลาโยมไปเลย
Yeah, so we will come back to see you again on next Saturday morning, as usual, same time, same place, in the channel in the platform of Wat Dhamma Wattapanya Puttapanya Nantaram in Vancouver, and in the Facebook page of Ajahn Tawachai.
ธรรมะเป็นทีม
And I will try to link this program into my Facebook, and also you can watch this program through YouTube as well. I would like to take this opportunity to give you, wishing you all happy, wealthy, and prosperity, and be safe from the coronavirus pandemic, and keep yourself, make yourself in the development of the Dhamma, as well as in your daily life. And we'll come back to see you next Saturday morning. Thank you very much, and thank you everyone for watching this program. Good morning.
Amen.